fermented tofu, and it is one of the most celebrated street foods in Taiwan. Its aroma is unmistakable, bold, deeply fermented, and powerful enough to announce its presence from an entire block away. It is also one of the oldest continuously prepared dishes in Chinese culinary history. In 2012, a chemical analysis identified 39 volatile organic compounds within fermented tofu. The dominant compound is indole, accompanied by dimethyl trisulfide and hydrogen sulfide. Together, these molecules produce the intensely pungent aroma that has made this dish both legendary and polarizing. The preparation begins with a fermentation brine. Salt water, bamboo shoots, dried shrimp, and Chinese cabbage are combined in ceramic vessels and left to develop for weeks to months. Inside these jars, a complex microbial ecosystem forms. Some artisans have maintained their brine cultures for decades, each batch inheriting the biological memory of the one before it. Fresh tofu is immersed in this brine for 4 to 6 hours. During that period, microorganisms break down the soy proteins into sulfur-bearing amino acids, releasing the characteristic aroma. But this same process also generates small molecule amino acids. The most widely told origin story places this dish in the Qing dynasty, sometime in the 17th century. The dish is said to have eventually reached the table of Empress Dowager Tixi and earned a place in the imperial palace kitchen. Today, Taiwan's Shenkang Old Street features an entire boulevard of restaurants dedicated to this single dish. It is deep fried until golden and crisp on the exterior, impossibly tender within. Served alongside pickled cabbage, garlic sauce, and chili. 3 centuries of tradition in every bite. Nattō, fermented soybeans, and it is one of the most defining foods in Japanese cuisine. In the eastern regions of Japan, it is eaten for breakfast nearly every morning. In the West, many decline it entirely. No other food divides this nation so cleanly. The aroma is sharp and fermented, earthy with pronounced ammonia and sulfur notes. But the true barrier for newcomers is the texture. When stirred, natto produces long, elastic threads of mucilage that cling to chopsticks and fingers alike. It is, visually, one of the most unusual eating experiences in the world. The science is remarkably straightforward. Steamed soybeans are inoculated with a bacterium called Bacillus subtilis and kept at approximately 40 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. The bacteria consume the sugars in the beans and produce a biofilm of polyglutamic acid, the source of those distinctive threads. Simultaneously, they break down proteins, generating the ammonia and sulfur compounds that produce the aroma. Natto's origins may extend over 1,000 years. The prevailing theory suggests that steamed soybeans stored in rice straw, which naturally harbors Bacillus subtilis, fermented by accident, and the result was found to be both edible and nourishing. In a historical context where meat was scarce in much of Japan, this became an essential protein source. Japan produces approximately 300,000 tons of natto annually. A 3-pack costs roughly $1 at any convenience store. It is rich in vitamin K2, probiotics, and an enzyme called nattokinase, which has drawn attention for its potential cardiovascular benefits. It is stirred vigorously before eating. The more revolutions, the more threads develop, and the richer the flavor becomes. Served over freshly steamed rice with soy sauce, karashi mustard, and chopped scallions. For those who embrace it, the taste is nutty, earthy, and quietly complex. Durian. In Southeast Asia, it carries the title King of Fruits. It is also the only fruit in the world to have been formally prohibited on airlines, public transit systems, and hotel properties across multiple nations. And yet, a single specimen of a prized variety can sell at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. Scientific analysis has identified 44 active aromatic compounds within the flesh. The aroma is extraordinarily layered, sweet, sulfurous, and deeply pungent all at once. It has been described by food scientists as one of the most complex natural scent profiles found in any fruit. Even seasoned food explorers have found it challenging on first encounter. For those who move past the initial aroma, the flesh offers a flavor frequently likened to rich custard blended with almond and vanilla, with a subtle savory undertone. The texture is thick, creamy, and almost mousse-like. The Musang King variety from Malaysia commands over $50 per kilogram. At elite auctions in Thailand, Nonthaburi durians have reached prices exceeding $48,000 for a single fruit. The fruit originated on the islands of Borneo and Sumatra and has been cultivated for at least 6 centuries. The name derives from the Malay word duri, meaning thorn, a reference to its formidable spiked exterior. In Malaysia and Thailand, the arrival of durian season is a cultural event. Families gather at roadside stalls to share the fruit together, often pairing it with mangosteen, known as the queen of fruits, which is traditionally believed to balance durian's warming properties. Durian ice cream, durian pastries, and tempoyak, a fermented durian paste used in curries, are all deeply embedded in the regional cuisine. No other fruit on earth inspires this degree of devotion, nor this degree of division. Surströmming, fermented Baltic herring from northern Sweden. In 2002, a Japanese research team conducted a scientific comparison of the world's most intensely aromatic foods. They analyzed fermented fish, aged cheeses, and preserved meats from cultures across every continent. Surströmming was measured as the single most pungent food item in the study. The name translates directly to sour herring. The tradition dates to the 16th century, when Sweden faced a severe salt shortage. Fishermen along the Baltic coast could not afford sufficient salt for full preservation. They used just enough to prevent spoilage, and inadvertently initiated fermentation. According to one account, these fishermen sold the partially fermented herring to Finnish communities inland, fully expecting rejection. The following year, the same customers returned and requested more. The production method has remained largely unchanged for 5 centuries. Baltic herring are caught in spring, just before spawning season. They are cleaned, placed in a light brine for approximately 20 hours, then transferred to barrels for initial fermentation lasting 1 to 2 months. After that, they are sealed into tin cans, where fermentation continues for an additional 6 months. During this period, bacteria produce hydrogen sulfide, butyric acid, propionic acid, and acetic acid. The accumulation of carbon dioxide causes the cans to swell visibly. They become pressurized containers, which is precisely why several airlines have classified them alongside hazardous materials. Despite its formidable reputation, Surströmming is celebrated annually across Sweden at outdoor gatherings called Surströmming Skiva, held each year after the third Thursday in August. The fish is carefully rinsed, placed on buttered tunbrod flatbread, and topped with sliced almond potatoes, diced onion, and creme fraiche. It is traditionally accompanied by cold beer or aquavit. Enthusiasts describe the flavor as rich, deeply savory, complex, and quietly acidic. The aroma is the threshold. The flavor, for those who cross it, is the reward.